What's going on, y'all? DC. Is he underestimating the Black Beast? Let's talk about it. So, DC was just on the MMA Hour with Luke Thomas a few days ago. And on the show, he was talking about his whole preparation process. So, and if I understood correctly, he really did think that he was going to fight Brock at some point down the line. John Jones Gustafsson got made. He was going to get stripped of the 205 belt and just defend the heavyweight belt later on. I'm assuming at some point in 2019. Then, of course, UFC 230 in November needs a main event. The UFC's scrambling, and they end up calling DC, and they ask DC, hey, can you defend your belt? Now, what he said is that he didn't know once the call came through, he didn't know if he would be ready. He didn't know if his hand would be ready, and so he said he's going to give it a try and see. Now, after what he said is, my hand isn't 100%, but it's ready to fight. And of course, within that, Stipe was also vouching for a rematch for him to win his own heavyweight belt back. DC came out and said, no. I think something along the lines of Stipe, I can't fight Stipe under these parameters with a hurt hand, short notice. He really wants to prepare for somebody like Stipe. So I say all that to set this up. Man, it really feels like DC is underestimating the Black Beast. And I just feel like that's such a crazy mistake. If we've seen anything from Derek Lewis, whether it be his Instagram feed, his fighting style, his takedown defense, there's no way to even develop an expectation for that guy. He can be down and out, and then within 1 second just punch a hole through your chest and then bring a right cross right through, and that's it. The fight is over. I mean, Volkov is probably still having nightmares of that fight right now. Of course, his Instagram feed is probably one of the greatest things ever. He finds like the funniest videos to put up. He puts up videos and memes before the meme accounts get them, which is crazy. Like, he's just a treasure. But man, I just can't help but feel like DC's making a huge mistake. I mean, I'm sure DC feels like he's on a level above Derek Lewis. I'm sure he feels that Derek Lewis cannot keep up with him throughout the course of a 5-round fight. I'm sure he feels like he can grind him out. I'm sure he feels like he has a stand-up advantage, the wrestling advantage. But man, all that just goes out of the window within 1 second if you make one single mistake against that guy. Derek Lewis is a guy you can never underestimate. You have to take him completely serious because there's so much unknown that comes with him. The unknown is just crazy when it comes to him. Outside of the fact that they're heavyweights and heavyweights hit like Mack trucks, this one, he hits like a Mack truck. He's a step above that. He hits harder than maybe Francis Ngannou hits harder. And they had the worst fight ever, by the way. But that's a whole other issue. DC, if you ever see this, please, man, take my advice. Don't underestimate the guy. It's a few weeks left till UFC 230. Take him serious. Just take him down quick. You know he's going to come out firing. And boy, dodge that right hand, DC. I love you. I want you to stay champ. But boy, I'll tell you what. DC's a role model for me, man. That guy is the man. I believe in him. I love watching him fight. But if Black Beast wins that belt, I'm going to be a kid in the candy store because that post-fight interview is going to be the greatest thing I have ever seen in life. I cannot wait to see how that main event goes. Of course, my heart is telling me Derek Lewis. My mind is telling me DC. I'm pulled every which way. But man, I feel like Black Beast is going to take it. All on the backs of DC underestimating him. I really hope that he isn't because I want to see a really intense fight. But man, who knows? Let's go Black Beast.